Throughout the community, we hear statements that we have the highest taxes in the state or the Kansas City metro. Let's check the facts of these statements. First, taxing jurisdictions play a huge factor in your specific tax bill. Your specific address is important in determining how your property tax rate is set. For us, each taxing jurisdiction has a boundary, but the boundaries between multiple entities overlap. Think of it more like layering. Pleasant Hill city limits are located in both Jackson and Cass counties, so both layers are present when considering the tax bill for your property. This means that we file tax levies in each county, and because Jackson County is a charter county, we have until September 30th to file the tax rate, unlike most other taxing jurisdictions in Cass County who have to file theirs by August 31st. Then we'll apply the applicable fire districts. There are 11 fire districts in Cass County and 4 municipally run fire departments. In Jackson County, there are 6 fire districts and 4 municipally run fire departments. The state legislature also does not allow fire districts to cross county lines. When we're comparing tax rates, it's important to know which neighbors are served by a fire district and which ones have fire service included in their city budget. We want as much of an apples-to-apples comparison as possible. Additionally, some fire districts like Pleasant Hill have a sales tax and a property tax, and if they do, their property tax is reduced by 1/2 of the amount of the sales tax that's collected. For us, all fire service is completed through fire districts, which are separate taxing entities from the city of Pleasant Hill. In Cass County, all of our city limits are located within the Pleasant Hill Fire Protection District. In Jackson County, the city limits are located within the Southern Jackson County Fire Protection District. And the city limits do not go on the east side of 7 Highway north of the Cass County and Jackson County line, but if they would, that would even be a totally different fire district from the 2 that we listed previously. Next, we'll apply the library districts. For the most part, these are county-wide systems. All of Cass County is served by the Cass County Public Library, and in Jackson County, this area is served by the Mid-Continent Public Library. In Missouri, school districts typically receive a majority of the tax bill. Within our city limits, we actually have 3 different school districts. The Jackson County portion of Pleasant Hill is served by the Lee Summit School District. In Cass County, a majority of our residents are served by the Pleasant Hill School District, but some are served by the Strasburg School District. Then we apply the layer of the actual corporate limits of the city of Pleasant Hill. That's actually our responsibility. As you can see, amongst all the squiggles and layers of these taxing jurisdictions, a majority of our community is located in Cass County, within the Cass County Public Library System, within the Pleasant Hill School District, and the Pleasant Hill Fire Protection District. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some pockets of the community that have different layers applied. One portion of the city is located in Cass County, still within the Fire Protection District, but located within the Strasburg School District. That's the area in yellow here. Another area within our city limits is located in Jackson County, within the Southern Jackson County Fire Protection District. Now we're in Lee Summit Schools, and it's also subject to the Mid-Continent Public Library System. We don't currently have any residents residing in Jackson County, so it's less frequently discussed, but that portion in yellow there is actually within our city limits. And there's a reason that we decided to draw our own maps on this presentation instead of showing the GIS maps of overlapping jurisdictions. As you can see from this example, it gets a little complicated. Just as Pleasant Hill has a multitude of layers, so do other communities. And when we're comparing our tax rates, we are just choosing to utilize the taxes where a majority of the community is located. That doesn't mean that that is completely what the rate would be in Raymore or Belton or Peculiar, but just where a majority of the community is. Looking at our comparables in Cass County, Pleasant Hill residents have the second lowest overall property tax bill when comparing to those other cities with residents over 1,500 in population. It's harder to compare city-specific taxes because Harrisonville, Lee Summit, Greenwood, and Belton have a city-run or contracted fire department. So I kind of like to take the city portion and the fire district rates together collectively as the best apples-to-apples comparison. And even then, for that, Pleasant Hill is in the mid-range. Pleasant Hill residents in Cass County and in the Pleasant Hill School District pay $7.30 in property taxes per $100 assessed valuation. And you'll add almost another dollar, about 90 cents, if you're located in the Strasburg School District. But what does that look like if we move to the Jackson County portion of our city limits? Whenever we're comparing that rate to our neighbors in Jackson County, the combined city and fire district property taxes do appear slightly higher than most others in the county. And currently, we only have agricultural land that exists in the Jackson County portion of our city limits. And here, that property, the total bill for our property owners is $7.69 per $100 assessed valuation, a number that is higher than the tax rate in Cass County. So I started to think, what does that look like if we compare all cities, or these cities, within Jackson County and Cass County? And when we look at both of those combined, the taxes in Cass County on the balance are cheaper than they are in Jackson County. For a majority of our community, the taxes here are lower than almost all the other cities. And I highlighted that with that white arrow pointing down. We're almost the bottom of the range for our overall tax bill. Remember that each property is unique based on its taxing layers, and here we're showing the overall taxes for the majority of the community. You'll kind of remember we were middle of the pack whenever we were looking at Cass County, but that's because Lee Summit and Greenwood were included in those numbers, but a majority of the community is in Jackson County and they have higher taxes. So looking at the overall tax rates, taxes in Pleasant Hill are lower than almost all the others.